I think we're live. Can you guys hear us in the chat room? Welcome. Welcome, everybody, to your Friday night live. Woo! I didn't know Dead GPK was in Texas.
Oh, I didn't know that either. That's cool.
All the cool people are in Texas, except those cool people that are in Mexico right now. Oh, and other cool people who might be named Mandela Effect Comedy. Me and Guy Fauqes on a Friday night. Woo! Hey, what up, White Rabbit? What up, Baker Street? Band JoJo, what you doing, girl? I was just gonna start with a little improvisated music. Yeah, me and Guy Fauqes on a Friday night. What's up, Stacy? What's up? Enlighten me.
Someone
hey, what's up, Warren?
New Zealand.
Who's in New Zealand?
Pumpkinhead.
What's up, Pumpkinhead? What's up, Morgan Leon? Ow! My drug of choice is Affected Collective videos with a side of Guy Fauqes. I love that Mandela Effect comedy. He's funny. Can't we all just come together? Hello. Concrete Man, third generation. What's up, man? Tornado came through and knocked out my power on 48%, trying to fire up my backup generator.
Good thing for that.
Dang. Well, we hope you get it working. I don't know how you're even on here, but it's a miracle. And I'm glad you're here. What's up, New Perspective? What's up, Carrie Zeachin? What's up, Graham? What's up, William Fox? How's everybody doing tonight? Woo! Ow!
Another from New Zealand. That's interesting.
Don't imp us up on Antifa cirrhosis. No. I would never do that. What's up, Mr. Morgan? You started the Mandela Effect? Well...
And he's sorry.
I'm sorry I started the Mandela Effect, said Mr. Morgan on a Friday night. What's up, Almedia? That's a cool name. What's up, DJ Stereophonic? The DJ's finally here. Woo! What's up, Don? What's up, Stacy? I don't think I said hi to you. Now the DJ Stereophonic is here. I think I'm gonna put my guitar away. Ow! And we can start this live chat. But I just want to say I'm sorry because I noticed earlier that we are interfering with the same time slot as our good friend Unbiased and On the Fence.
Oh, Shane.
And I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, Shane. My brother, wherever you are. Hey, what's up, Laird Life? Woo, yeah. Hey, yeah. What's up, Guy Fauqes? How you doing tonight?
Good. Cool.
Hi, Beverly. A huge fan of your amazing spirit and your love for truth. Holla, girl. Okay, yeah. I'll play more. I'm trying.
If anybody in the chat goes over to Shane's and joins on his chat, be sure to say that Guy Fauqes says hi.
Yeah, and
if you cross over,
man,
cross dimensions.
We should cross dimensions. Yeah. So apparently, me and Guy Fauqes are in two, or at least two different dimensions, because I can't ever find his channel on YouTube unless I put it first on my page on featured channels. By the way, Guy Fauqes. And so yeah, that's how I find it, and it's easy to find for any of you out there who would like to go check out his amazing work. I wanted to talk to you about you did a video this morning, I guess, about the moon.
Yeah.
The full moon.
The full moon.
Yeah, will you tell us about that?
All right. Let me I'm going to change rooms for a second.
All right, 1 second.
It's,
I'll say hi to everybody. Hello, R1. The fourth side of 3 is 1.
So
Hi, Beverly. Darren.
this topic sets my wife off, so I just figured I'd just leave the room.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's a good call.
You know how some spouses get a little testy when you bring things up.
I don't know about a little, but yeah, I know one that gets. I mean, my personal, in my personal life, I know one of those people. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Test.
So Wednesday night, I had done the live chat with Brian on his channel, McFarlane. And
oh yeah, Brian McFarlane.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
So then Scarab calls me afterwards to give me a hard time about going on other channels. And
Scarab did that's
he's giving me a hard time. So I go outside in the backyard. It's nice outside, and I'm just talking to him, and I'm looking at the moon, and I'm just thinking that it was a little over half full, and I wondered to myself how long it was going to be before it was a full moon, right?
Right.
This is Wednesday night, 10:30, 11 o'clock. So I go to bed, I get up early in the morning, I go to McDonald's, I'm at McDonald's at 5 a.m. I look up and the moon is 97% full. It's almost perfectly full. Yeah, it's very full.
That's good eyes.
Well,
what up,
I only knew that because Scarab told me the next day. So but I thought it was full, and I was like, is this normal? I mean, this thing was like half full just a few hours ago. And it changed just that much. Now, it could have been just for me. It could have been just something that only I was seeing, but it was definitely something that kind of blew my mind because there was such a vast difference in just a few hours.
Cool.
So I had to post it. I posted it to see if anybody else had seen that, and I had a few people say that they saw the same thing. So,
man, I feel like that every time I look at the moon, it seems, I don't know, it seems like holographic or something. And if I look at it through a telescope, then it doesn't. It all of a sudden seems legit.
Yeah.
And it's just too weird. I mean, I always feel like my eyes are messed up, like I've been looking at the screen of my tablet too long, but that's not the case.
Yeah.
I don't
know. I just know what to think about it, but I put it out there just to see if anybody else has seen it. But I've been seeing a lot occasionally. I say a lot. Probably once a week, I'll see something in reality around me that glitches, that's not right, that's off, and I'll catch it. But unfortunately, I don't catch it in a way that I can like offer some kind of proof to the world. So sometimes I don't even bring it up. I don't mention it. I don't put it on YouTube. It just goes by so quick, and I just note it and move on. But
right. Well, okay, so me and Guy Fauqes, we go way back. I don't know if you guys know this, but we've had some epic conversations, really. And I'm making moderators, so I'm trying to what's it called? Double
work. It's hard to think.
Yeah, double work, double think.
Yeah, yeah. We've chatted a lot, and when I first was being affected, when I first had this, about this time last year was when I was first seeing all this, and my mind was just getting blown. And we talked a lot, and you were helping me work out a lot of the details in my mind on what I was seeing.
Man, we were having epic conversations. Yeah, because you see stuff in real time.
Yeah.
You see like live changes before your very eyes. I've only seen like one or two of those.
Yeah, and
even then I couldn't be sure.
So freaky. Yes.
Multitasking. That's it. Thank you, crying hippie. Yes. Multitasking. That's what I was trying to do. Double task. What up, I nameless? I'm sorry, I'm still saying what's up to people.
I didn't see the moon moving the wrong way during the. Actually, I wasn't really good at watching the sky. A lot of people talked about the color of the sun and things like that, and I think working inside of a building for 5 years and never left it and looked outside.
Yeah, I feel like the quantum infiltrators, as I like to refer to, quote unquote, them as, I feel like that that's been part of their, an essential part of their master plan is to keep us all in these buildings.
Yeah. Looking through the tinted glass.
First, we got rid of the tribes. They had to, because we couldn't have tribes. That would be too much support and too much togetherness and cooperation and too much, I guess, effective living, efficiency, and, just love. Too much. They can't have groups, of people that are comfortable in their roles within that group. And that is what a tribe is. We don't have tribes anymore. We haven't in a long time. I think we can still remember what they're like through our, I just believe that our DNA holds memory. That's really the whole basis behind, MK programming, compartmentalization of the mind. And they got real good at that. It's pretty easy to do, to program one's mind. You just have to use pretty much trauma-based tactics. They've figured out more sophisticated methods now. Yeah. And White Rabbit, you asked something a minute ago. I think he asked you, Guy Fauqes, if you were going to do the other 5 minutes or something.
Oh, the video cut off on me when I was doing that. And it really didn't have much more else that I was saying anyway. So I got this little app on my phone, and sometimes it glitches and it just cuts off at 5 minutes, and sometimes it worked right.
Because you are an interdimensional being, man. I'm serious. Has anyone ever tried to look up Guy Fauqes, the way he spells it, like in quotes even, on YouTube, filtering for just the channels? I mean, it will show me every other spelling of Guy Fauqes known in existence, except this guy.
Well, I did a search for just Mandela effect guy, and I got more response. It showed my name up more than just to it. So just type in Mandela effect guy, and it
Mandela effect guy. So he's that guy.
I tried changing it to that, but it doesn't seem to work. But
what's up, Jenny Lunatic? I love your videos, Jenny. Jenny has awesome videos. I'd like to thank everybody for being here tonight, and so I finally finished my epic Keck video, but I didn't get it uploaded because it's so long. I guess.
What's it going to be called?
Oh gosh. Okay, I've had to retype in the title like 4 times. I should know this. But so basically, yeah, what did I go with? I went with Pepe the Frog, the Cult of Keck, twin particle accelerators, and mimetic magic. Yeah, cool. I thought that was that almost covers it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's and I mean it's got everything from like the Berkeley riots, or really all the riots, but I chose Berkeley in particular because it has a facility that houses a lot of antimatter. And so happening to know that as I did, I was like, well, could that be what's making everybody so angry? Because, those riots, they didn't make sense to me. I mean, neither side knew what they were. I mean, they didn't have agreement on what they were fighting for. They just knew they wanted to fight.
Yeah.
Berkeley was rough. Were you there, Jesse? Jesse, man, were you there? Dude. I mean, it looked rough. And a lot of girls got hit and maced. And I mean, the one girl who had the dreadlocks, she was the Antifa girl. And she's supposedly, of course, I have not seen convincing evidence, but she supposedly had she was throwing bottles of some kind of Molotov cocktail, but not those. I don't know. I'm not with all the new terrorism, whatever it is. I mean, I'm not into that. So
I don't watch a
yeah,
lot of news either, but a lot of sick stuff is happening
yeah,
out there. That driver driving, driving down people and just all that nonsense.
yeah, I know. What's up, Robin? Robin Stone, how you doing, girl? Yeah, so I was trying to, let's see. Do you peeps agree that Antifa, BLM, and Anonymous are all Clinton Rothschild funded confusion agents? Well, the confusion is definitely in place, Lightseeker. I would say that is working effectively. But there's something that, and I did a lot of studying recently about where they're housing antimatter, because I've learned that there is a facility called Keck. It's KECK, but it's actually in a few different places. They're starting to make little satellite ones, but the original one was in Washington State, I believe. But yeah, a lot of the colleges in our US of A have particle accelerators and colliders and basically, things that aren't really public information, but if you dig for it, you can find it. And they are associated with colleges and or nuclear facilities, so that it can get them more funding, basically, from the Department of Energy, Department of Defense. They can just get multiple contracts, and then have the college usually to be additional funding. So they get billions of dollars. And it's upsetting. Yes. So Tony Tiger, correctamundo, the Keck particle accelerator facilities, it's actually 2 of them, which is very appropriate for Keck because it's dubs, which, if you have ever been on 4chan, that's how Keck supposedly communicates to his followers, is he gives them doubles, unique numbers that are that have repeating digits, and that's how he manifests. That's actually in the ancient Egyptian theology. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, it is Keck, Morgan Leon. It is, and 221C Baker Street. You need to watch your language, sir. We say bullshit. Oh, I'm just playing, man. It's all good. It's Friday night, so I really can't tell anyone not to curse. So Concrete Man, 3rd generation, says, and 3 hours later, I have power, and they still don't everywhere else that my friends are. So why I self-maintain all 22,000 acres of my land without state and government agencies? Oh, bravo. Bravo, sir. You for it. Dang. That is, woo. That is an achievement. I can't imagine that life personally.
Yeah, I'd like
that's
to
quite
be
amazing.
off the grid. It's a nice place to be.
Shoot. Yeah, like I'm not even half off the grid. Kind of a homebody, though.
Yeah.
I just want to make videos all day long, but I can't. I have a job now.
You've put out some pretty good vids. Well, what are you doing now?
Well, I'm working on. Okay, so this Wendy Williams thing has me fascinated. Are you familiar with the Wendy Williams thing?
No, tell me.
Okay, so, well, you might have seen it around the YouTubes. She's dressed up in a Lady Liberty, well, Columbia, costume for Halloween, and she has this episode where she claims she got overheated in her costume, but I'm sorry, I don't see any sweat. Her eyes are just bulging out of her head. The way she jerks and the way she falls, because she falls down. She says first she has a little glitch. I guess it's sort of like this. It's like she's saying, yeah, so we're gonna do a costume contest like we do every year, and it's really fun. So let's get started. And then she says, the first caress, and then she like starts glitching and starts like backpedaling, and she
I'll have to
freaking
look that
jerks,
up.
and she touches her head, and she like shakes a little, and like her eyes kind of, yeah. It's not a normal faint, and it's not like an exhaustion or overheated faint. And so I actually had been collecting for a little while these videos like that people faint. Like there's a bunch of them in the middle of speeches of, Obama and Bernie Sanders and just a bunch of random people. There's also some of the person giving the speeches, but they're mostly in different languages, but I still find them and they count. And it's really the same, I don't know, the same like look of terror and sort of jittery shaking, and they either fall forward or backward, and they kind of jerk real hard. Like it's like they're an android that got shut down.
Yeah.
Or hit with an a pulse. Like it's creepy. It creeps me glitching out. Yeah. And so I've been actually collecting a whole bunch of those for a while. Do you remember, Guy Fawkes? You remember when George Herbert Walker Bush, the elder of the Bushes, was supposedly had a choking on sushi scare? Remember that little deal?
Not too well.
It was a good while ago. It was many moons and probably other dimensions ago for you. All right, so I need my moderators to be on point. 221C Baker Street, I am talking to you. Because there have been a couple of messages
where do
that
these
have
haters
been
come from? I don't get it.
Yeah, you know what? And you guys are welcome to stay. Just put them in timeout if they say something like, I don't know, the C word or the N word or something, non-creative superlative, basically. Yeah, but basically, I think that sushi scare. Do you guys remember the sushi scare with George Bush Sr. or whatever? It was supposedly he was choking on a piece of sushi, but I mean that was the joke that everyone made. But thank you, Dead GPK, good job. But it's interesting to me because Barbara Bush takes a napkin, just like a normal cloth napkin, and puts it over his whole face and just starts pushing on. Like, I mean, it's not something I would do if my loved one was choking. I wouldn't be rushing to cover his face. And so I found that peculiar. And he also doesn't take a bite of anything within 5 minutes or so before that. So I don't know how he could have been choking on a sushi. Anyway, that seemed like the same sort of incident. The passing out violently, we'll say.
Yeah.
As if Android shutting down. But wow. Oh, Chaos Flower, shame on you using such language. My goodness.
Send chaos out.
Oh, you thought he choked on a pretzel? Well, interesting, because I don't know.
Oh.
Graham Townsend says, I didn't realize the N-word was actually cursing. Well, it's not if the N-word is nice.
Yeah, I would say anything that's just designed to offend and get people mad.
I mean, it's Friday night.
Probably not a good idea. It's not a good idea.
It's just not creative. But yeah.
But I'm so used to getting called names now. I think I'm becoming a.
Who calls you names? Skin. Who calls you? Give me their names.
My wife, for one.
Oh, well, I can't help you there. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh dear me. Yep. Sorry, I'm out like trout, man. I am. Yeah.
Yeah, I lost her on the moon one. The moon one just pissed her off.
Dude, that's a delicate thing. I never know when I'm gonna piss my man off, because it just sort of happens. And Wayfaring Stranger says Wendy Williams is just a publicity stunt. Maybe, but I don't think so. I think she looked very weird. And also, so I've been making a video about it, and her eyes, like, okay, she has a wig covering sort of one of her eyes that looks like it turns black, but the other eye, The iris, it definitely turns different shapes. It turns star shaped, and it turns diamond shaped, and then it turns square shaped. And it's very obvious. It's anyway. And I'm not Michelle Rodriguez. No. I have much less of a beautiful complexion. I have like really pale skin, so no. The bulging eyes, exactly. Thank you. Dolly had braces, and Dolly totally had braces. Hey, did Dolly get her braces back, by the way? Because I heard a rumor. Q question stuff. Q question stuff. No, Q question stuff. You are welcome here, stoned or not. And honestly, that doesn't even matter because you are such a wonderful person. And I miss you. I'm so sorry that I have not been on the Twitters. Q, please forgive me. You can be mad, though. I would understand. Brian Baker says, has anyone figured out what we, who are Mandela infected, have in common? I think, I have a theory about that, but I mean, I can't prove it. But I feel like that we are, we the affected, are spread out enough that it's sort of our responsibility at our own pace to help those of us, or like our loved ones, basically, into the knowing, into the coping, I guess.
Or just sufficiently piss them off. That's what I see.
Well, that happens definitely along the way as you figure out how they can cope. Because I know it took me a while to cope. I just got real quiet.
Yeah.
And then I started writing songs, and that helped a lot.
I can actually like go through a whole week now and not bring it up. You know, when it first, every single person I met. Yeah,
Dang.
I can go a whole week and not mention it. Of course, I have the outlet with the, YouTube, but with just people around me, I can see the craziest things and not bring it up to people. And
you know what?
Whatever.
I agree with R1. The fourth side of three is one that what we all have in common is that we are awake and God did this. I agree. I think that there was really no other way to like give us a memo, hey, you guys, there have been some things happened that set nature sort of out of balance, and things are just going to exponentially get weird. So, if you guys could go ahead and realize that based on your favorite breakfast cereal changing, or, real-time Guy Fawkes things that happen to you, like you fix something at work and then the next day it's not fixed. And
that one happened a while ago. Let me tell you one that happened last week. I haven't really put this out there. So
story time.
We're at the pet store because our dog needed some medicine, worm medicine or something.
Oh.
And my wife's with me, and she stops at the cats, where they got the cats in their little area, and she's just going, oh, I want a cat. And I'm saying, no, we're not getting a cat, being pretty adamant about that. But she's just lingering there, and I can't get her to leave the cat. And I'm looking at this cat. I'm seeing its eyes. The lights in the store are very bright. It's fluorescent. So the cat's eyes were not full. They were small. But here's what's weird. Their pupils were small, and they were round.
Ooh.
And I'm looking at the cat, and it's looking normal, like that's looking right to me. And I'm thinking to myself, cats aren't supposed to have little round black pupils. They're supposed to be slits. That's not right.
Exactly.
And but it's looking so normal, I'm questioning my own memory and my own and I'm starting to think, did reality just shift? Because this looks normal, but I could have swore that they had vertical slit. So I looked at the other cats around the one that was, and they all had the same eyes, every single one of them. So I even mentioned to my wife, and she didn't even comment. I said, are these eyes the way they're supposed to be? So we're walking to the car, and I pull it up on the phone. I look, Google, what a cat's eyes looks like. And I'm looking at pictures of the cat's eyes on Google, and all the pictures show them with the slits in the eyes. And at that point, I knew that the cats in the store, if I got out of the car and went back in, I knew that the cats would have normal eyes. I knew that they would be slits then. So I didn't do it because my wife would have just gone berserk if I had insisted on doing that anyway. But we went home, long story short, she went back to the pet store and got 2 cats. and, and then she brought them home and they would have had the normal slits in their eyes. But I swear, I'm in the store, pet store, that when we were first there, and they did not have the right kind of eyes. It was just bizarre.
And I was thinking about it. I think I've seen them both ways, and I feel like I've had that like almost exact same experience where I'm looking at a cat's eyes and they're little tiny circular human-like pupils, and that brings up another concern I've been having. So has anyone else noticed that animals are starting to exhibit very human-like behavior? At times, certain animals have been, I don't know, cats are just up walking on their hind legs, and dogs are doing kind of everything. I don't know.
So I've heard some other people saying some stuff like that.
Mandela Effect Comedy said, I don't like to spend much time in the Dutch oven. Oh, dear me. It must be Friday night. Hey, and by the way, one, I heard you were making videos, and I further heard that you are a chick. Am I wrong about that information? Because I think I've been calling you like brother this whole time, and like, if so, I'm so sorry. My bad. It all makes sense now. All the stories you told.
GPK saw Wells Fargo change in real time.
Wait, who said that? Wait, where'd you see that? Oh yeah, did GPK? What? What did it change?
Huh. Yeah, I haven't been familiar with that one.
Usually the real-time guy is the guy, the Mandela Effect. So you're the Mandela Effect guy now. You're not Guy Fawkes anymore?
I'm trying for that. I don't know if it's going to switch over fully. Like, you make the change and it doesn't happen right away. So I don't know if it's going to work.
Mandela Effect Comedy said, he's saying, dude is not a lady. Cool. Yeah. Yeah, so sorry, sister one. My bad. So one is a good Metallica song, Chaos Flower. Guy Fawkes, I think that's a stock market joke.
For Wells Fargo? Okay, I got you. Yeah. No, I'm telling you, there's some weird changes, though. Like, there's the ones that you see, and then the ones that you remember, and then there's the ones that flip-flop and reverse. And it's pretty bizarre. And then there's residual, which is just so interesting. But
so residual, if residual was a person, we would be very well acquainted. she and I, because I'm imagining it would be a girl. But yeah, so some people have been and I'm sorry, I'm not being very attentive to the chat, but somebody said a minute ago that they've seen their cat eating with its paws, like as if they were hands. Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that going around. So I've been feeding a cat. Well, apparently been feeding more than just one cat, and also a possum who I believe is pregnant, or just a big possum. And so the possum is tripping me out. Like, she kind of just sits and, like, I don't know, sits on, their fanny like they would a person, and takes a break before eating again. And I don't know. It's like way too, I feel like they should have a cigarette in hand and maybe a cup of coffee, like they're taking 5. Lion and lamb time. Yeah, no, it's the lion, man. The lion is still with us in our hearts with Jesus. If my dogs, if I tell my dogs that they're gaining weight, uh, darn. All right. Party puppy. Party
Right?
puppy's in the house. Well, Party puppy is one dog that I have seen act like a human. Just kidding, play. Nope, it's pregnant for sure, especially if it's coming near you. I know, that's what I thought. Thank you, Layered Life. I agree. I concur. No friend in spirit. Have animals more awake than humans? You know, I had an experience with a cat the other day. I'm sorry, with a dog the other day that is a friend of mine's dog, and they are always like kind of playing with her, like saying, "You just want love. That's all you want. All you want is love." And I've realized she actually wanted to give love. Like that's what she really wanted. It wasn't that she wanted to be loved on. She wanted to join in the love. And so, and I was I don't know, I was heavily in the known that day. I felt just, you know, it was before I started work because that has thrown me off. Anyway, yeah, it was this moment when I looked at the dog and she looked at me and I said her name and she kind of relaxed, like, "Oh, you do feel me. Cool. Thank you." I mean, it was like she realized that that me in that moment, I was aware of the consciousness that connects us all, like the quantum field of that we're inseparable from, actually. But anyway, it's like she knew. All of a sudden I was aware of it, and she wasn't used to that. I don't know. I mean, it's crazy, and you know, I guess it could be just my speculation, but I felt it, man.
I'm trying to get these cats to become aware that I don't want them sticking their faces into my face, because that just seems to be all they want to do. I keep pushing,
Well,
even right now, I keep pushing them away from me, pushing
what could
them
be their
away.
motivation?
I don't know. They're fascinated with my big nose. I don't know.
You do not have a big
Go
nose, man.
away. Leave me alone. That's what I keep saying to them.
Tell them through the consciousnse.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Could it be that we are just watching these animals evolving? You know what, Aerosolo One, I've wondered that myself,
Yes.
and I've additionally wondered if that is happening, you know, on different levels to humans. The thing about animals is that they are still born as we used to be, with the connection to everything, and they're comfortable with that. It's not an issue. And I think that's why animals are, you know, they don't really know what to do around us, because we are very obviously at chaotically different levels, as you know, human to human, of where we are, like how connected we are, how in tune with our environment, with others, with just consciousness. And so, yeah, I don't know if I'm making sense. I'm trying to read the chat too. You asked if I was RH negative. You know, unless it changed from the Mandela effect, I don't believe there's a way that I could be, but I have not had the opportunity to find that out for sure in too long to be exact. However, everyone in my life is RH negative. Everybody. Like, it's weird. It's super weird. Panicky, unpredictable, dangerous humans. Yeah, totally. Exactly. And that's going to be our band name.
Did you get a chance to watch that video clip I sent you on that?
Yeah, I did. And
GPK, I love this video.
Man,
and I'm her one and only subscriber.
Are you really? I subscribed.
I was. So I noticed I was, after a year, I was the only one who subscribed to her, and she's got this. She's got this real fortune teller voice going on, like this. It's just kind of funny.
Yeah, yeah, and her accent seems
Russian or something.
I don't know. I thought maybe, I don't know, Swedish,
Yeah.
Scandinavian. I'm not sure. I mean, it seemed like a dialect from that area. Hi, Nameless. You shut the front door. You're RH negative too. See, there you go. The pudding, my friend.
Yeah.
That's just cray. I think I'm AB positive. I'm not sure. I have no idea. I used to know. It's like, that was a blood type that I used to know. I'm sorry, that was a bad joke. So, O negative, if you believe in a flat earth, you're brain negative. Well, I would disagree, Sergeant Schill, because I feel the earth is in superposition, kind of like everything else. That's weird. I don't know why I think it thought that was a website, RH negative. Man, that's crazy. I found that a lot of the people that are Mendel affected, if I could make up a word, are RH negative. I don't know what that has to do with price of
I remember
China,
I was
so to speak.
positive. I was B positive, but
You're B positive. See, and I'm either A positive or B positive or AB positive, I believe.
yeah.
I think.
Tiger
Yeah, that
blood.
joke really sucked. Okay, well, thanks, Graham. I appreciate you helping me have no confidence for the next jokes. I'll just be quiet over here.
Yeah.
I'm just playing. I just let those roll off the back, but there's only so much you can do. Baker Street, are you actually Charlie Sheen? I can tell you that Baker Street has some interesting. He's had some interesting soul journeys, but Charlie Sheen is not one of them. So yeah, and I don't know if you want to talk about this on air. Yeah, Guy Fawkes will have to, or Mandela Effect guy, we'll have to talk about that another time, because I wanted to talk about that sometime with you. That whole thing about, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, cool.
About
wink, wink.
The video that she did, or
no, about the that thing you did that one time. That the Tay. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about now?
No.
Tecumseh.
Oh, Tecumseh. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Nothing. Okay. Yes, we're not talking about that.
Okay.
Q question stuff is O positive. Hey, which do you remember being the universal donor? I remember O negative.
Yeah, that's so you've got the donor and the receiver. So what is it? The O negative is the universe, but I wasn't a medical person, so I can't say with authority.
You're funny, man. That one time at band camp. Yes. Hey, Peter, but shh. Okay, exactly. Are you in trouble, Guy Fawkes? Don't get in trouble.
No.
Okay.
I'm keeping a low profile in the house right now.
That goes with your profile picture. You got the whole hat and overcoat.
You might notice a lot of my videos I'm like whispering because I'm trying to.
I noticed that. Yeah.
I'm trying to stay quiet. People are sleeping usually when I do these, and not a big house.
That's funny.
Or sometimes I just go outside.
Hi, Lori. How you doing, Lori? What's up? Lori says hi, Guy.
Hey.
Hey. So yeah, we had some things that we were gonna talk about. We talked earlier this week, and well, I don't know. I've been probably looking way too much into my clones theories. It's always sort of a side project for me, but yeah, man, the ancient versions of people like from the 1800s, or Keanu Reeves paintings from the 1500s, like those, I just can't get over them. They are always kind of going through my mind, and I found a whole bunch of them recently that, I mean, they just kind of jump out at me. I don't know. So I have theories, but basically all of the theories involve a quantum time element. So you would to execute my theories, it would have to be a faction, we'll say, who had access to time in a quantum fashion rather than linear.
Mm-hmm.
Because
well, that's one of the theories that
it changes everything.
I've seen a lot of stuff about the possibility of time travel, and this all started with, and this is, this group probably is more aware of the government research and funding back in like the 50s and 60s on remote viewing. I mean, we're aware that this was a program. It was an actual legitimate program where success was made in people basically astral projecting in a way. They could leave their bodies and they could go to other locations, but not only could they go to other locations in their current time and space, they could go to other locations in different time and space. You could go anywhere. And there's a guy, and I've got to find his videos, but he seems somewhat credible, but he's saying that they've escalated that. That officially that program was shut down, but unofficially they may have escalated that to a point where they could do even more than just astral change, where we're talking like literally sending physical matter through and people through.
Right.
But in the process of doing that, there's always a change. So you're not going to the same reality necessarily, but to one that's very close. Right. Or that there's always changes around that reality every time something's happening like that. And I've enjoyed listening to that theory and the possibility. And I've known about remote viewing for a long time now. And I knew the credibility that this was a real thing. It was a legitimate thing. But who knows?
Trying to type, man. But yeah, honestly, that kind of that's the whole key. I'm just saying, I love you, party puppy. I should have just said it. I shouldn't try typing. It's ridiculous. So Dead GPK recommended the movie Womb. It's about the rebirthing. It's about the rebirthing relatives using cloning technology. Fascinating. I believe a very good candidate for time travel in his life and cloning as well is our good president of the United States. Anybody else?
Yeah.
Anybody else?
Well, did you ever see that video? I mean, it came out a while back in the last year, and it was showing like all these people that looked like Trump and like all these celebrities, all these actors and actresses,
and what looked
just like them. They were clones, but they were freaking breathing. It wasn't like still pictures. They were laying side by side on this huge bed, all in white pajamas. It looked like something out of that show, The Island or whatever, and they're just laying there sleeping, breathing, and they look just like the people we know on TV. That was weird. And I can't find the video. I've gone looking for it. I wish that I had downloaded it. I think I just put it in a playlist and then it got deleted.
Oh, well, I can't stand it when I can't find a video. Can you help? I need my tech person. Can I have my tech crew over here, please? Thank you for coming so fast. How do I make it to where the chat stays on? Sorry, we are experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by. That was elevator music for you guys. Thanks for laughing, Guy Fauqes. You're awesome. So yeah, I mean, I think that to figure out any answers, I think the first step is to realize that there is a quantum, I call it a quantum infiltration, but that there is quantum time afoot. Because I don't know, I keep seeing so many everything leads back to a quantum infiltration, everything I research. But definitely I mean, it's hard to think of time as quantum rather than linear, you know, because we're just so trained. We're so literally programmed to think of cause and effect happening as it should, cause and effect. But man, that is just not what I'm seeing happen, especially with the particle accelerators and everything. I mean, they are doing all kinds of crazy. They're doing deceleration now in the oceans. Oh my God, it's so nuts, and they're doing it so that they can get more decay. The decay is when they collide particles together. It's like the nanosecond that the collision happens, there's a burst of decay, which is thought to be the moment that, you know, doors open to other dimensions, or just basically that something can come through, that dark matter can come through. And once it's in our realm, it's you know, it's basically connected to all the rest of the dark matter that's gotten through. I mean, I'm using the term dark matter kind of loosely because apparently we, quote unquote, don't know what it is, but we know it exists because of all this gravity stuff, and that's how the planets were formed, and blah 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 blah. And I don't know. I don't like the standard answers that all the scientists give. Yes, Dead GPK is right. So Party Puppy's videos show the waves of the universe. I really feel like they show the superpositional Earth, because he takes these videos on these really smooth motorcycle rides of his. Have you seen them, Guy? Mr. Guy Fauqes?
I haven't seen that.
Yep.
I'm reading a lot of the chat stuff though.
They're
giving me a lot of information here. So they've told me where to find that clone video. That's cool. So I'm getting a lot to give. I'm trying to multitask just like you. I'm getting some information out.
And see, this is the thing. I should be able to use Broadcaster by now. It's just the first time I ever tried it, it didn't work, and I was shut down, and I'm scared now. So
what's the question again? Because I've got my brain focused in two different directions. What was the question?
Well, basically, okay. So our friend Party Puppy, he makes these videos where he's riding on his motorcycle, and it's a real smooth ride. Like, it's very peaceful and smooth. I mean, he purposely takes roads he knows are going to be a nice, relaxing ride. You know, that's what you do if you own a Harley. That's what you do. So, but when he gets the video footage, they are increasingly it's footage of new phenomenon every time. It's like, it's like, yes, thank you, Mandela Effect Comedy, for feeling that. It's basically like what he captures. It looks like the whole world and the trees and everything is waves, like water, and sometimes it's kind of violent waves, and sometimes it's lopsided on one side of the street and the other. And it seems to me, you guys can. I'd love some feedback on this. It seems to me that in Party Puppy's videos, when he drives by people, or even just a person, and I'm talking about in another vehicle, it seems to affect the wave pattern at hand. For instance, when he comes to like a four-way stop, it usually is like it levels out and it gets kind of normal, like flat. And you would think that would be because the camera is being, quote, shaken by his, engine vibration, but that's not the case. Because you can tell, like when he goes over a bump or something, you can see that instant, what you would expect to see. But this is nothing like that. It's like huge. Sometimes it reminds me that there once was and probably is a firmament. And I really feel like the Earth's in superposition, and that Party Puppy's videos catches it. It's really cool.
See, and I've seen some people talking about Stranger Things. Have you seen that? Have you seen that show?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so that came up tonight. My son told me I'm just like Joyce from season 1 in Stranger Things, because everybody thought she was crazy.
I felt like Joyce.
That's exactly. I can relate to Joyce. It's crazy.
Well, I like the cop because he straight up went in there and, you know, he like, you know, played it cool and snuck in and kind of just got to the body, right? Didn't he? You know, and found out for sure. But the mother knew. Yeah, she knew.
The upside down world.
Yeah, the upside down.
It's
That I
crazy.
like that they call it that.
Yeah.
And you know, I can't help but feel that that is sort of what the end game, the simulation is. I feel like that the quantum infiltration is, there's not really another word for it, but so for lack of a better term, terraforming. They're terraforming our world to be theirs, but the world they're in that's not accessible, that they're changing our world slowly but surely seems to be, is essentially antimatter, the anti-world. So the anti-Mandela effect guy and the anti-Mandela effect comedy, the anti, hey, what's up, Jules Verne? And the anti-Jules Verne. And the anti-dead GPK, so I guess the live GPK. And yeah, I would be the collected effective. No, I don't know. But I don't know. That seems to be, the upside down is the astral plane. I would say the upside down is actually a different astral plane. I think that I really think that we have something they want, they being the quantum infiltrators, and they're making our world slowly become habitable for them. I mean, it's not a very pleasant thought. Sorry, didn't mean to be a Debbie Downer. My bad. But you know, I could just be completely bonkers, and that's fine with me.
Yeah, I haven't been trying to peer into the upside down world. That's not something I've been seeking.
No. Yeah, no. Well, and so in studying the phenomenon of that I was studying about Keck and the riots and everything, with all that being sort of I was looking into what facilities harbor the most antimatter for the longest periods of time. And what they do with it is because it annihilates if it touches matter. So they can't keep it in a, you know, plastic container or anything that's made of matter. They really can't keep it there. They have to use magnets so that it doesn't touch anything. But
right.
Yeah, but to do that, because I mean, if it did, it would just annihilate and they'd lose it all. So slowly but surely, they've been working up to, you know, keeping it for longer and longer periods of time. And the Berkeley facility is apparently, well, it was before they built the Keck facility in Washington, and now they're building satellite ones all over the place now. But the Berkeley facility was the first one and the longest one to hold it for the longest periods of time. And so they started holding a lot of it. And what they do to sort of get it out of its, to get it out of whatever magnet thing they try to contain it in, is they zap it with a laser. And that's another reason they have it at Berkeley, because Berkeley has a huge and uber expensive laser setup that basically they can focus any kind of laser they want pretty much in any manner they need. And I think they did that for the purpose of storing a lot of antimatter there. So I don't know. I'm just saying I don't know that it's an accident. And I've been looking. Okay, here's a question for people. Do you guys remember there always being riots historically, like throughout the 60s? And I mean, I know that Berkeley was a place of protest, and they had a lot of civil rights demonstrations there. But I don't remember there being deaths and violence from riots, and there being just madness in the streets. And I've been finding that that's the case. And so, you know, this could be just a case of I was unaware, but I thought that there were, well, memes for one thing that said, you know, comparatively that in the 60s on Berkeley, they were holding up, you know, free speech signs, and they were all about peaceful demonstrations, and nowadays they're like Antifa crazy, throwing whatever.
Those the protest over Vietnam.
Yes, well, and the civil rights movement, I believe.
Yeah.
So, but they don't. I mean, I don't know, the senselessness that went on in the recent Berkeley riots. It had no motivation on either side. Motivation, but what it did have was a lot of antimatter under the ground there that was being held by magnets, and they had too much of it, I'm guessing, because I mean, I really just think that stuff, it's unstable, and I feel like somehow it kind of attracts this madness. It sort of calls the darkness out of people. I don't know. I can't explain it, but it makes sense in my head.
Seen some people talking about Twilight Zone in that episode to Serve Man. Now, the Twilight Zone's interesting because when it was a couple years ago, it was on Netflix, and my son and I went through like a marathon of watching every single Twilight Zone with host Rod Sterling.
Yes, Rod Sterling, indeed.
And if you want to see a good Emmy Twilight Zone, just YouTube search The Parallel. that guy's going through the Mandela effect completely. And that's not an episode I have ever seen, even though I thought I saw every episode. I've never seen that one until this year.
Well, yeah, I know I haven't seen everyone, but there have been ones recently that I'm like, how did I miss that one? I mean, like, I saw a couple of top 10 lists recently.
And then some of them are in like high def, which is funny.
I know. Okay, the high definition of photography, I mean, and camera, I'm talking cameras and regular photos is ridiculous. It's spellbinding. It's like absurd. I mean, the first pictures, and they have, those lithographs and stuff, they're so clear, so that all of the, especially like the Nazis in my encyclopedias, because I read through encyclopedias sometimes, ever since the Mandela effect, I like to go straight to the encyclopedia. And it's interesting what residue you can find in a book that, it'll miss some stuff, and you can get a lot of residue. But I was going to ask Q question stuff. That was all at the behest of the CIA, the 60s. Yeah, that's true. And the infiltration was definitely working. I don't know. The CIA is pretty much run by the infiltrators. I feel.
Yeah.
Kentucky, let's see, showing up in the 1890s now. Actually, yeah, the late 1700s have photos, and there are some that are talked about, like they know the photo was taken but it was lost. So I'm ready for those to appear at some point too, because history's still changing. Cool. Look at all that cake that White Rabbit just gave Dawn. That is so sweet. Oh, the Dark Knight satellite. That's really cool. So yeah, the Dark Knight satellite has been true. Yeah. Well, that has been creeping into my sphere lately a lot. I've just like heard some people talking about it at work. I thought they were talking about, Dark Knight the movie or whatever. They were like, no, that thing that's up in the sky. And I didn't know that Tesla found it. I mean, it makes sense because Tesla did everything basically. He just got all his ideas taken. I think John Nash was taken out because of his discoveries didn't agree with Fermilab. Ooh, Jules Verne. Dang. I wish I had like a bell to ring, like ding, 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 because that is an exciting theory. Yeah, exactly. I need sound effects. Yeah. Oh man, the Eli Whitney Mandela effect is a trip.
That's huge. Yeah, that's huge.
It's a trip. because how did that happen? Like somebody's lying. I mean, it's in every, Black History booklet.
Maybe it's just telling us that reality is very black and white.
I love it. Yeah, okay, that's one of the things I love about hanging out with you, Guy Fawkes, because you see the layers of meaning in everything. Do you remember when we figured out the like we were talking about all the letters of spellings of words that had changed?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
and you were like zip, zing, zip, because you said, what'd you say? You said things that didn't have S's anymore, like for instance, Joyce Meyer instead of Joyce Myers. It was like,
Depends.
I don't know, you were talking about snakes, and I was like, never would have thought of that. Because but I don't remember what you said about it.
Well, I'll tell you what, the black and the white. Last night I was talking with someone we were sharing some bizarre dreams, right? Some of those dreams just stick out, and you wonder if there's some type of message and where that comes from. But she was saying she had this dream, and she was seeing basically the world like a chessboard, a black and white chessboard, and all the players on the chessboard, they're all wearing helmets, and some were, in fighting stance or dancing around or singing, different things like that. They were just very animated, and it represented reality, the black and white reality. And she took her helmet off. She was in the game. She took her helmet off, and she left the game, and she went to the side and sat by an old man who was watching the game. And she was just watching the people on the chessboard play it out, and she just looked at the old man and said, "Well, what now?" And he didn't say anything. She just woke up, and I thought it was funny because it's like if you leave this play that we're in, this world, this construct, this matrix, whatever you want to call it, if you leave it and you go off to the sidelines, you just watch it, you might get bored and say, "Well, I want to get back in." How many times we all say, "I want to get out of this cage, I want to get out of this matrix, I want to get out," but you might just say, "I want to get back in now."
I don't know. Graham Townsend, I don't know about that, but I don't know. I haven't seen it with my own eyes, but I don't know that Tesla's dead. I think he was replaced though, just like a lot of people. But so getting out of this cage, as you said, I feel like that I don't know. One good thing about it was actually ever since I started researching flat Earth, which was before the Mandela effect. But I think that the flat Earth is one of the Mandela effects, one of the biggest ones. I feel a sense of peace knowing that indeed there is a divine force that is in control, and we're going to be okay as long as we, go that way. And that's just about loving each other, helping a brother out always. And everybody's your brother. And I think Wendy Williams was replaced, indeed. Sorry, random. But yeah, hello, Illusion. I love saying that. Is Illusion shouted here? I thought I saw somebody say hi to him. Hello, Dangerous Explorations. I would totally do that, but yeah, no, I can't. Mustaches. Are you guys still talking about Tesla? That's funny. That's funny because that's my man. No, I'm just playing. Just kidding. I already got a man. It's weird to have a secret crush on somebody who, lived a long time ago, allegedly.
Yeah, Tesla was pretty amazing.
Well, he did pretty much everything that is, anything electricity, wireless, he invented that, and other people got credit.
Yeah, people stole it.
Yeah, and the Alexander Graham Bell thing. So I don't know if some of you have seen. I found 3 pictures of the Alexander Graham Bell's long distance, or it was like a long distance call within the United States, I believe. And it was supposedly a wired call, but yeah, I don't even think any of those calls were wired anymore. There's so much wireless technology in the 1800s that's available, and all these new companies that have sprouted up in seemingly new historical timelines to me. I mean, I've never heard of them, and so they must have, quote, never made it. But I really just feel like basically what I'm trying to say is Alexander Graham Bell did not invent the telephone. Not even close, in fact. He wasn't even the one who filed the patent, which was filed the same morning that another gentleman filed it who was supposed to have had that patent. But Alexander Graham Bell's father-in-law, well, it wasn't his father-in-law at the time, but it was going to be, was a ex-Supreme Court justice. And so he had connections. And basically he had his lawyer go file a patent 3 minutes before the other guy filed the patent for the exact same thing. And they fought it for years and years and years and years and years in court. But of course, with his court connections, it wasn't too hard. They probably just had to pay people to be witnesses. But like 600 people came forward and said, and contested Alexander Graham Bell's patent from the very same morning as this other guy. And I don't know, it's just so fishy. It's like the Titanic. That was total. I've
noticed that too with just how inventions come about. Look at some of the landmark inventions in history. It's funny how many people were coming up with the same invention right at the same time, and they didn't know each other. They lived across the world.
Exactly.
But they're still somehow synced and getting that. There's all kinds of things like that too.
I agree. For instance, the atomic bomb was well, it was designed a little differently, but 6 different, totally separate groups. I think 4 of them were 3 of them were in the United States, I think. I don't know. I have to look at that again. But yeah, that's an interesting thing. It does imply the underlying consciousness that, we are all embedded in and cannot be separated from. But I would say that in some cases, like, for instance, the Titanic is the best example. It's a setup. I think that, I think they switched boats. I think they purposely had a hole in the other boat. And I think, well, basically, J.P. Morgan and Hershey, a few other really, really rich guys had tickets paid for them to sail on the Titanic and canceled the very last moment. Why? And it just so happened that the people who died on the Titanic, like, what was it, J.J. Astor? Him and the Scarborough owners and I forget the other guy. They were the 3 richest people in the world that were against the Fed, which was started 1 year, almost to the day, after the Titanic disaster. And the witnesses of the Titanic, like the ones that were little children, they remember all kinds of weird stuff. Like, they remember looking up and seeing a boat that had rammed them. They never saw an iceberg, but the boat turned its lights off pretty immediately and then didn't come to their rescue. It was all set up. There's so much evidence. It's dirty. But see, all of that implies some faction having the advantage of quantum time. They're not restricted to linear time. And that's kind of, unnerving, because we don't think that's kind of possible. So if we're not ready for that kind of manipulation of our, reality, our world, our lives.
I don't know all the details around the Titanic, but I know that it's pretty dang weird that there's that story of the Titan that had come out, 10 years before the event basically happened. That's pretty nuts.
Exactly. Okay, yeah, that's right. The books that were written, well, the one book, it was revised that same year. And I want to get to Jenny Lunatic's question before. So Jenny says, CERN, the new alternate, yes, history. Who else has done this other than countries moving bigger, smaller? No other entity has benefited like CERN. Well, CERN is it's the largest, but it's only the largest in circumference. Like it's actually kind of useless that they have such a huge 27-mile or whatever. It's unnecessary because they don't even use it. They use sections of it, and they use linear accelerators and just magnets and whatever, dipoles and sextipoles and all these, special, really expensive magnets, and they're always upgrading their stuff. But they really can do that anywhere. They honestly, since the 40s or the 30s, maybe even the cyclotrons, which were like first generation before the synchrotrons or whatever, those things would apparently, get the protons and whatnot to the speed of light. Well, they say just under the speed of light, but the speed of light where I'm from wasn't a constant. So saying it's just under the speed of light is actually saying it's going the speed of light. It's just not a constant. So I don't know. But there again, I can't prove it because the history books say that it is constant and that we, accelerate molecules just under the speed of light. Whatever. I don't know. It's frustrating.
You're saying the speed of light is a constant now?
Well, I really can't get a straight answer on that, but the
keep changing.
The language that is used, all the scientists, all the physicists at all of the CERN-like facilities around the world, which I know of at least 80 with huge particle accelerator, detectors for the collisions. Those are the big things that, look scary. But anyway, those things, they all say, and we accelerate them to just under the speed of light. And it's like, I don't like any of their lingo. All of their scripted, it's like brainwashing, the way that they all speak the same exact, like verbatim. They say, well, right when the Big Bang happened, which isn't that a theory too? But anyway, right when the Big Bang happened, there was equal parts of antimatter and matter in the universe. So we don't know why there's no more antimatter, and we have to figure that out. And I'm like, raise my hand. I can probably take a guess why there's not antimatter, because we're matter and that would annihilate. So it's just natural that there's not antimatter here.
Well, isn't the big question that CERN can't figure out and everybody can't figure out is
dark matter.
Why is there any matter whatsoever? Because at the great explosion or whatever, that this equal amounts of anti and matter should have canceled each other out. They should, they should just cancel each other out.
Well, and that's one of the reasons that they push the dark energy agenda. Basically, and that does make sense. I don't like calling it dark personally, but basically it's just, it doesn't respond to electromagnetic, to light. It doesn't. It's not affected by light. It's not illuminated. It doesn't.
Maybe the antimatter is the upside down world.
Yes, I firmly agree. It's the mirror on the wall. That's that.
Yeah, that's your separation.
Yeah. And okay, so I have this crazy theory. I'm just going to say it since we're on the subject. I feel like that the breakdown of the fainting, like Wendy Williams episode, and also George Herbert Walker Bush's sushi deal, all of those episodes, to me, I just get this feeling, I can't prove it, but it just won't go away, this thought that somehow we're witnessing a changing of their, I don't know how to say it, changing of their antimatter to matter ratio sometime in the future. Like it's like their soul slips over to the other side and trades with their antimatter self, if you will. I mean, it makes sense in my head if I try to say it out loud. I don't know. It's just crazy though.
I can tell you in the observations of these reality shifts, I see more than just two. There'll be sometimes a third version or a fourth.
Right.
And that's kind of interesting too. Like with the thinker, there was one day where for me, that thinker, just for one day, his pose was completely different than anything that we remember or have now. And he was holding his chin in his palm, and his fingers were lightly brushing his lower lip. And I even mimicked it and said, "Look how dumb this looks. This is completely wrong." And then the next day, that had changed to what it is now for me. Getting chased out of the room here.
Run. And I wanted to say to respond. I wanted to respond to like, I don't know, 12 of you. But Lori, yes, it is very, very Fauqes. And honestly, I get that feeling, that disturbed. It's that disturbing to watch, I guess, is what I'm trying to say, when these people have these violent, jerking, shutting down, fainting spells, and it's not human looking, and it's not natural movement. And they all say, "Oh, I just got a little overheated." Well, they weren't sweating. And like, remember that girl that was like a very dairy girl, and we get she was like at the Oscars or something. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Sister Lori, because it's just this feeling, man, and it just bugs me. In the day I'm thinking and I think about it, it bugs me. Antimatter is not a hoax. So Wayfaring Stranger says, antimatter is not a hoax. Eat a banana, it has potassium isotope, and a positron will be created and annihilated in less than a nanosecond. A positron is an antimatter. True. And so one of my favorite physicists is Feynman, who said that, and by the way, all people who could change the world, either with their talent or with their smarts or with their just inventiveness, all of those people have been attempted to be compromised in one way or the other. And that can mean killed, replaced, or driven crazy. I mean, if you think about all the artists in history that have these horrifying stories, like Van Gogh, cut off his ear. Maybe he was hearing voices, yo. Maybe there was some like skull.
Maybe he couldn't get that dang ringing out of his ears.
Maybe, right? and I think that I feel like that there's obvious clues of the quantum infiltrators throughout time and history. But in response to antimatter, it is not a hoax. I agree. However, I don't agree with what they tell us about bananas, and and because I hear that same script a lot, and I feel like things are right now in such a state of superposition. If you watch Party Puppy's videos, oh wait, I want to see what Q question stuff said. Ha 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 ha. How's that go? How's that girl go again? AC, dirt, her, Mercer. Is that, yeah? That was exactly. She's like a very dairy girl. Have you seen that one, Guy? Have you seen, you know what I'm talking about? It's this blonde girl, and she's like at the awards ceremony,
and she just tweaking out.
And,
yeah.
You know what? And I'm sorry, I'm skipping around subjects. Yeah, she just starts saying this gibberish, and it's happened to a few reporters. That's going to be in my upcoming video with Wendy Williams. But yeah, the weirdest part about some of the people that faint is that their coworkers don't even bat an eye. They don't even appear to be alarmed. It's like they didn't get that module implanted or take that, class on how to be a human, and they're still like a new clone or something. I mean, that's a theory. I don't Gerpider, glurpy, dar, d, dervidy. Yeah, that's what she said. And people thought she had a stroke, but she came out and said no, she didn't have a stroke. And that's what people still say. Like they're like, people say that about Wendy Williams. They're like, oh, that she was a stroke, or they say like Michael Johnson that it was faked. I disagree based on the collection of other examples of that same sort of fear, terror, disorientation, backwards jogging or forwards falling, and huge, just bulging eyes and twitchiness, like violent jerks. I mean, and I mean, some of them reacted in slightly different ways, but it's very. Oh, wait. I was gonna say goodbye, Jim. Goodbye, Jim. I'm a puddle duck. Goodbye. Wait, there's a Guy Manfella. Wait a minute. I don't know about that. You know, that's a suspicious name, Guy Manfella. If I could direct my I have some really strong moderators. I just realized. Thank you, moderators. You're doing a great job. Yeah, a stroke. Exactly. See, yeah, Q knows what's up. All right, let's see. So, yeah, so I don't know. I'm all over the place with my subject changing tonight. I want to say for the record, it's great to have a day off. Man, they've really been working me like I need overtime or something. Man.
Life gets too busy.
Oh yes. So Trevor asks are we ready for the power outage this weekend? Yeah, what's up with that? I have Guy Mangello party puppy.
I've been hearing some of that. What's the theory?
What is the thing? Yeah, I haven't looked into it. I've just seen the headlines. We're all gonna die.
Knocked out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's gonna happen. Let's see. White Rabbit says, "Chill, like that pupster's able to respond to comments. Not if everyone is going offline. It's less work for me." Wait, what are you talking about? I missed something. I think that we ME affected need to be very carefully and especially responsible with our claims. I agree, Dean Guthrie. I very much agree. That's why I don't put out videos a lot until I'm happy with the amount of time I've had to research thoroughly enough. I mean, and I'll say if it's just my speculation or my, creeping crazy thoughts. Thank you, Lori. You're sweet. So it's a blackout drill? Flat Derp says it is a blackout drill. I mean, they're not going to go brown out. They're just going to go full on Antifa uprising. Yeah, so I read about that, or a little bit. And blackout drill on the same day. So the Antifa uprising is separate. She faked it to get out of the mistake she made on live air. I bet she did this, little girl's. Okay, so Crying Hippie, the mistake she made was, well, first of all, her whole meter. Are you talking about Wendy Williams? I'm assuming her whole meter and even her accent seemed off to me. It was definitely a reverting into some childlike state or something. But the mistake that she made was, she said, "Our first caress," and that's not that seems like a mistake that an AI would make. That's just based on the strange, like, computerized programs will type weird things that aren't usual typos and things like that. Also, I had a friend who, that's a long story, but basically she had an altered set of emails that her husband, basically the AI got a hold of their profiles for some, they shouldn't have been on a dating site. They should have just been faithful. But anyway, that's what she says, not me. Anyway,
I've seen Katy Perry come up a few times in comments, but they're spelling it Katie. That's not right, right?
And it's Katy, right?
It's currently Kate. I mean, but I do remember a reality where she was spelled Katie, and then I also remember just Kate.
Oh, wow. See? Okay, and Katy Perry, by the way, has a violent fainting spell where she starts saying things, and I think she asks for Bruce, and she starts sort of mimicking as if she's vomiting, but she at the same time is still running all over the stage as if programmed solidly with needing to do that. Wendy is a man. Well, that could very well be. Layered life. Layered life is keeping the chat clean. Let's see. Not sure. Jules sounds like a low hum of a machine or something. They want a civil war. I think that war is always what the quantum infiltration wants us to be doing. I just like keeping the pupster in check. Oh, the pups. He's funny. Carried off stage. Yeah, you talking about Katy Perry? Let's see. So sad. Y'all think she is a she. Well, I don't think that matters, does it? I mean, no. Honestly,
if I'm ever in the same room and I have a chance to meet her, I'll just greet her the way Crocodile Dundee does his greeting, just to verify.
hey, Guy Fauqes dead GPK since you link.
Yes, I need to somehow find a way to get that. I don't know how to copy that. Hey, I know what I can do.
Okay, yeah. So Crying Hippie, you brought a good point up. They usually, gripe at someone in their earpiece when they mess up. Exactly. Well, there's an off-camera voice that says, and I guess they probably say, they cue her with the line, our first contestant or something like that. But it sounds to me like the voice says, we're testing a new one. And I made a Mandela Effect comedy, put the soundbite through a program, and he actually, he did a great job. Thank you, Mandela Effect comedy. But later on, I realized that probably it's more likely that they're saying, instead of, what was it? Because it sounds clearly to me like we're testing a new one, but I think it's contestant number one is what I think it probably is. But
a lot of people mentioned the ringing and the buzzing in the ears, and I can tell you in the last year, I've only experienced a couple seconds where it stopped buzzing, and it was really so amazingly different for me just to notice it for a few seconds stop buzzing and it started right up again. But it's like, wow, is that what life is like to not hear this all the time? Because I could actually hear. But it's usually all the time, and I don't even know why. It was like a reality glitch. It just stopped buzzing for a few seconds. I was driving in my car and going through a four-way, and it just stopped buzzing for some reason. It was just odd.
So I was writing an apology. So, sorry, what did you do 221C Baker Street? What did he do, y'all? Did he? The buzzing is the sound of our brain cells dying.
My wife would agree. Especially in my case.
I don't believe in death, so, I guess there is death of cells, but I just don't feel like that's where the life actually exists.
Yeah. No, I don't drive a whole lot, but I was in the car when I noticed it stopped for a moment.
my mercy me, Graham Townsend. That is TMI, sir.
I screenshotted it.
You screenshotted what?
GPK's link. I just did a screenshot for it.
Man, so let's see. How long have we been going? Like it, almost 2 hours.
What do we start at 9?
I think we started after 9 because you're in a
Technical
different dimension than me. Yeah. I tried to email you. I finally just kept.
It took us several email attempts.
Yeah, what's up with that? And
I don't know. You know, I have that problem with Scarab's channel too. Sometimes he'll
2 hours.
email me and I don't get it, and he'll text me and say, "Did you get it?" I was like, "I'm not seeing it yet."
Well, what is up with that? Are you
I don't know.
you're in a different dimension? You know, I've always wondered that about you because you see like kind of special incidents. Layered Life would like to know, Guy Fawkes, if you drive a lot.
No, not really. I mean,
Do you
I
drive
was in the
people
car when I
crazy? No.
noticed the thing. Yeah, I drive people
Uh,
around me crazy, the family.
and is it correct that the Schumann resonance is like exponentially off the charts, like quadrilliupled from what we ever thought it was? Because I know it was at 7.83 at one time,
Mm.
and then last I heard it was like at 14, moving on up to 16 or something crazy.
Yeah.
That's just nuts. I mean, that's nuts. Like if it's really that high, what's happening? That's correct, Jules.
Oh, you know what we were going to bring up before it gets too late? Because some people might remember this and they might be able to, just like they found the clone thing for me. Um, Remember about a year ago, there was that, I think it was on Reddit, there was a thread, and it was essentially this, it was an entity, an alien or something, saying, he was claiming to be an entity or an alien, and saying that they were basically trying to hold reality together because it had all fallen apart and they
Whoa.
rebuilt it and reset it. But it
Spiking above
disappeared,
30. Oh my god.
and then this CERN scientist, we made a mistake video came up, and it was all about the CERN scientist
Oh.
essentially
Oh,
doing the
that's right.
same
I
thing.
remember that one. Yeah,
But
yeah.
the original thread was like an alien talking to everybody and saying like the thing that I remember was a common thread in these is that working of 5-hour shifts. But it was the alien saying that they're trying to hold reality together because this Mandela effect stuff was like a virus or something in the program that was messing things up. But I you know that thread went away and I haven't heard anybody talk about it or find it. The closest thing I've found is like the crystal ball lady talking about it, but she doesn't
Oh,
cite her
yeah, right.
source.
I remember you telling me
And
about that.
then yeah, and then the CERN video is like the closest thing. But
So
I don't
yeah,
know.
okay. When I remember I found I didn't ever see the article because it disappeared. I mean, I
Yeah,
saw a video about it, and in the video, the guy indicated that all he had left was a screenshot.
yeah, I remember that too.
And
But it
he
just
was like, I can't find
disappeared.
it anywhere. Yeah,
I
and that
read
makes it more
that.
legit, right? That
I
makes
read
it.
that when it was fresh, and I think it was even live. Like people were like putting in comments, and
Whoa.
this alien thing was
So
responding. And I read it, but then the whole thing was gone. It
bye,
was
Banjoju. Mwah, mwah. Love and hugs, girl. Thanks for coming over, hanging out. I was gonna say that. Okay, so first of all, the Schumann resonance is apparently spiking above 30. Madness. That's like well over triple. I mean, that's how can that? And that okay, that is consistent with my little crazy theories that that I got from watching Party Puppies wavy rides that are actually smooth when he experiences them. Because we wouldn't actually be able, because of our perception, I'm pretty sure, our perception is so strong, it's just so locked in that it physically changes our waveform collapse to equal what we believe it to be constant. Like we don't believe our world can be in superposition or that we can be in superposition or that anything can be in superposition. And thank you, Carlos. That's very sweet. And string theory, here's my thoughts on string theory. I recently was told by my good friend 221C Baker Street that the show that I don't watch, what's it called? help me out, guys. You know what I'm talking about. The one with Sheldon, and it's like everybody loves that show. Big Bang Theory or something. Yeah, it's a show that everybody loves. Can you guys help me out with that? I think you're on a delay, but yeah. So he used to always talk about string theory, and now he only talks about dark matter. Yeah, the Big Bang Theory. Thank you, Mandela Effect Comedy. Ding. And that's well, that's consistent with all of the things that I see CERN doing. I mean, honestly, the what they're spending money on is just all kinds of dark matter, you know, searches. They're looking inside our Earth. They're looking in space. They're looking in the water. They're basically going through every method they can. And I don't know, it's bothersome. Party Puppet says, I think my motorcycle vibrates at a certain harmonic that does something, matching the Earth's frequency. I think it's you, Party Puppy. I mean, it is your motorcycle as well, but it's you. Because you are my theory about it is you are absolutely someone who walks with Jesus Christ in your heart, and you're just that kind of person. You have, you know, you do the right thing, and you are just a very loving brother. So it's like, I think it would be natural that you would get this amazing footage, because I don't know, it's something, it's like a bonus that you get for being a good pup. But yeah, that's what I think it is. Because it's crazy, dude. You pick up some crazy phenomena. Phenomena is the plural, right? I think so. It seems wrong. So this has happened to me a few times at work. Someone will. I run a lessons and rehearsal studio, and so I book people for time either with a teacher or for a band rehearsal, and it just keeps happening that I will have switched something before I ever got the notice or the phone call or the email about it. Like, it'll be switched as if the other me already did that. Like, I don't know. It just keeps happening. And I'm sort of just like, I should start writing down when it happens and what the situation is, because it would be interesting to get some numbers on that and see the frequency of that phenomenon, because it's happened so many times now that in certain cases, I would have the email correspondence and, you know, record of what time the phone call was. It was exactly impossible for it to, reverse causality. Exactly. Thank you, New Yoda. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. It's bizarre, but I just get the feeling whenever it happens that, you know, this means something, if I can borrow the line from Close Encounters when he's making that giant mashed potatoes thing. Yeah. But I just get that feeling. It's message, you know, message almost received. I need a few more times to figure it out, but I feel like it's a superpositional, you know, me doing it, because there's nobody else who has access to the program. And I'm the only one that knew the circumstances to have booked the right people or taken them off the schedule. The other day, a guy called to cancel his appointment, and I had seen his appointment in there that morning, but when I went to cancel it, it was gone. And he joked that it was, he didn't know if he had already made the call. And I said, do you feel like you did? And I was like, maybe the other you did. Oh, and there was 2 of him in the system. That's even weirder. There were 2 of his name and his phone number, and that's unusual. I don't know. And I've seen people in chat, like Mandela Effect Comedy and Chris, the bass player, and and even Baker Street. So I mean, like I've seen people, the little head, their little round icon that says where they are. I've seen them be in two places at once. I've seen them be two different names and two different pictures. And I mean, it's just like little things like that. Sure, we could say, oh, it's a little glitch in the program, but I don't feel like it's that, and I got to listen to my heart, because obviously something's going on, several phenomena that are bizarre, but the only thing we have that we can absolutely rely on is our hearts, because I mean, my memory's pretty good, but it's like, when your heart's telling you something. Anyway, and that will conclude my epic rant for the evening. Maybe.
Well, I think it's a lot more than just memories too. I mean, there's pretty strong residual out there that most of the world just doesn't want to acknowledge in any way. They're not. There's no way to explain how some of these things are, and yet there's all kinds of evidence that something's happening, but they'll just deny it. So but it is more than just memory. But reversals too are just mind blowing, and us sharing the same observation of the same flip flops is mind blowing.
And reality check, thank you for bringing that up. The gut feeling, I don't think that's an accident that we say gut feeling and that we say follow our heart. I don't feel like our brain, as we've been taught, is where we exist. Like that's our whole, I feel like that our heart, well, in fact, it's been proven that our heart responds before someone walks in a room. It already it knows that somebody's coming. Even if we have no idea in our brains, quote unquote, that somebody is coming, our heart knows and it will react. I think like up to 16 minutes or something before, and probably if you add in superposition, it'll be, X number of minutes different for every person. But so Lori says, I have a ton of reality shifted folks in my life. My sister had her appendix out in the version, not any memory of mine. Wow. That's interesting. That would be pretty interesting. Yeah. Like if suddenly you had your wisdom teeth or whatever. Let's see. Mandela Effect Comedy said, it's like Tinkerbell. You got to believe hard enough to sing song time. Oh, people are telling me to sing. Is it time? Is it time to go? We should do a song. But Wayfaring Stranger and 221C Baker Street are having such an epic conversation. Okay, so Wayfaring says quantum means that it travels in discrete quantities and not linear. Time may not be quantum. That I can agree with, but gravity being quantum could make sense in the future. Well, see, but I feel like the future is, we're connected to the future with our souls. That's the way I see it. And we can occasionally, tap into it when we're feeling on point. They have tech that reads your mind and the computer does the action. Yep, that's true. They've had that kind of stuff for a long time. I think our hearts lead us to failure. Flat derp, can I give you a hug? Because no more from this day forward, we are not going to think like that. You and me are not thinking like that, okay? Because that's not going to work. You can't think like that. Because you succeeded in getting to this chat tonight. Well, yeah. You don't have to go yet, Affected Collective. I'm just rallying the troops. Go team. Woo! Ow! We are the champions, my friends. That's awesome. I like the S's and the D's I like what you did there. Our hearts have an 11-mile wide span in circumference around us, filled with clutter memories and junk data. Well, most conscious, we need to clean that up then. Because, you know, I bet mine does, but I probably just don't notice it because I can live in disorganized, space. It's a talent I have. I'm really good at it. But unfortunately, I don't notice when I have, you know, made a mess in my husband's space, and you know, I need to. I've been working on that. Quantum gravity is the key to this whole labyrinth. It's kind of going to explain it all. Yeah, I would agree. And the key to not turning out like Faust is to stay in the heart. Brava, Lori. Excellent. Well said. And Jules Verne is hugging flat dirt too. Okay, group hug, you guys. Hug. Sing a song. NASA stole so much. Man, the person most robbed in history is definitely Tesla. Okay, let's see. Magnetism. You know what's funny about magnets? We don't know how to control them. We try and we guess and stuff, but for instance, at the Keck facilities, there was a problem when they installed their like magnetic things that basically kept the particles going in the direction and stuff that they needed. And it was like the paint they used or something made it so where the magnets couldn't stick. So they put them on the inside, but it melted the magnets. And so the guy who was the lead physicist there just was like, oh, I know what to do. I'll just make magnets that don't melt. And I was like, oh yeah, duh. Like, I didn't know that was possible. I mean, and I don't know how he did it, but I mean, that's kind of a big error to, get to the whole, we have spent our budget or more on this whole particle collider, and oops, the magnets don't stay on because of the paint or whatever. And I don't think it was the paint. I think it was they didn't fit or something. I don't know. It wasn't to spec, but so they tried putting them on the inside and then they melted them. And so the guy made non-meltable magnets. And I'm like, why didn't we just use those before?
A little oversight.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, rough day at work. Darn it. I broke the particle collider.
Bob just cost us $100,000. That's okay.
Oh yeah,
probably,
it's like
probably a few million actually.
It's a few million, definitely. Yeah. And forget about the over budget they're already.
Just do another happy dance. It'll be fine.
Good night, White Rabbit. Good night, White Rabbit.
Good night.
And now the end is near. Einstein does not either. I don't think so. Now, Einstein was compromised. We have to remember that if there are quantum infiltrators, then anybody who is, like, for instance, Tesla was not motivated by money. He wanted everything to be free. I happen to agree with him. I think that we really can't imagine that world. I can't imagine the world without money. It's too unimaginable. I guess I can imagine our ancestors' world without money, but anyway. But not being motivated by money is something that is a uniquely human trait, and it's absent of some humans these days. But yeah, I'm not motivated by money. Anyway, I don't remember what my point was. I agree. Tesla was the real genius. Oh yeah, I was going to say everyone who could change the world. Everyone with talent, with smarts, inventors, like outside the box thinkers that knew there was no box. They were all compromised. So yes, some of them, joined the brotherhoods of secret societies, which, by the way, were compromised at some point. They probably started out with human intentions because we were probably trying to get back a tribe because our tribes were taken from us, destroyed. Einstein was a Zionist, and that itself is a sufficient way to discredit him as a truth seeker. Well, if he was a Zionist, I mean, I haven't personally come across proof of that, but I don't know. And honestly, I think if any of us were in that position, well, we don't know what the people who have been compromised went through. I know that some of them were replaced because they could not be, controlled any other way. Some of them were just killed because they couldn't be replaced, especially all the music makers of the 1960s. That was tragic. Anyway, I'm talking too much. Guy Fawkes, you talk.
Oh, you can tell I'm getting tired.
Wait. Guy Fawkes' new name, you guys, is Mandela Effect Guy.
Trying it, seeing if it'll take over.
And if you're not subscribed to his channel, I recommend highly that in your life you get subscribed. All right, well then, I guess it's time to sing a song.
Sing a song.
Because let's sing a song. Well, I had a really good time tonight with you guys. I had a really good time tonight with you guys. And Lori loves your channel, Guy Fawkes, and also Mandela Effect Guy. Wild Kids Cartoons says he died a couple of times. And Jules Verne says yes. Much love, JMC9. Deep thinkers. Woo! Oh man, the chat's going real fast now. All right. Newton was a Jesuit. My goodness. I didn't know nothing about that. Not a Zionist or a Jesuit or a... Hey, by the way, Concrete Man, third generation, I would like to talk to you someday about concrete and all that you know about it and things that they do to build buildings. Because in the comments section, you were very informative that they are slacking on that, and that is very interesting to me. And I probably want to do a video. Woo! Yeah. Oh boy, now the chat's going really fast. All right, so let's make music faster. Well, I want to thank Guy Fawkes and also his other dimensional self, the Mandela Effect Guy. All right, I'm gonna slow it back down. Oh, you know what I did today? I found a bunch of frogs on the cover of Berenstein Bears books.
Frogs?
That's hard to say. I found frogs on a whole bunch of covers of Berenstein Bears books today. Good show, good chat. Thank you, Aerosolo, for being here and Most Conscious. Thank you, Juan. Thank you, Don. Thank you, Carlos Castaneda. Thank you, Lori. Thank you, Most Conscious. Thank you, Steelers and Saints and Cardinals and Illusion. Thank you, Illusion. Shattered. Thank you, Jules Verne. Thank you, Graham Townsend. Thank you, Wayfaring Stranger. It was lovely to have you with us tonight. Thank you, Nicholas Nash. And Bridget LM. Take care, everyone. Remember to pray protection for sleep. Love you all. Happy vibes. Family. Thank you, Layered Life, for being here. Thank you, Mandela Effect Comedy. Always making me laugh. DJ Stereophonic. Where's that party puppy? Party puppy. Party puppy. I'm being silly. Thank you, Dean Winchester. Ideas are bulletproof. I agree. Thank you, Stacy and Darren Break. Thank you, Bleach PC. Did I say that right? Well, woo. Let's see. Oh boy. I'm not here now. I'm not here right now. New Yoda, thank you for being here. hugs and love to you too, guys. Jenny Lunatic, Jenny Lunatic. Thank you for being here, Jenny. Magistrate Jay Rayner, where have you been? Have you been here this whole time? Did you say stuff? Dang it. Magistrate Jay Rayner never be speaking up, but he be creeping. But that's all right. I still love you, man. Thanks for being here. Loyalty makes you family. That's like the best name I ever done heard. Thank you for being here, Seth. Thank you, Trumpy. Trumpy Cash Your Pumpkin. That's crazy. Thank you, Ken Tissue. And R1 4. This side of 3 is 1. I messed it up that time. Crying hippie. Thank you, Dad GPK. Thank you, 55 Porter and Grant Bennett 333. And thank you, Michael Johnson. Darren Break, I think I said thank you already, but thank you again. Thank you, my friends. I see Lies. What's up? I see Lies. Did you just get here? Say my name, says Daniel. Daniel Reynoso. Did I say it right? That was it. E is for effort. Mandela Mile. Flat's where it's at. I think it's in superposition, though. Well, thank you, Most Conscious. That's sweet. Kind of made me blush. I love all you guys, says Party Puppy. I would, but it's stuffed with pizza. I don't know what that comment was about, but okay. I feel like I interrupted somebody's conversation. What'd you say? Are you saying goodbye, Mandela Guy?
No, I was just laughing.
You were laughing? Cool.
I enjoy your guitar playing. This is nice.
Well, yeah, it's because I never actually end a show. So
keep playing and playing.
This is the best. Well, this is the best way that I've learned that it actually does come to an end. Yeah, my friends. So we'll do this again at some point in the future with quantum gravity. All right, you guys. Have a good night.
All right.
You too, Party Puppy. Thank you for being here, Guy. I'm sorry I kept you up so late.
No, it's fun. Good night to y'all, and have a great weekend.
Definitely. Yeah, hey, watch out for the blackout, you guys. Keep a flashlight around with batteries or candles. All right, bye, everybody. Much love. Mwah. Mwah. Much love, you animals. That's funny.